Well, welcome back to Finance Uncut. On today's episode, we look at round 2 of the Silver Squeeze. Can we break the COMEX? Every physical silver ounce has been sold up to 1,000 times. This is how manipulated the market is. And folks, check out this short little video. This is the best video. So much fun, but so true, and why we should silver squeeze.
Some bankers got together a little while back. One says, let's keep the little guy from ever owning jack. If they don't trust us blindly and give us all they're worth, they'll get on fine without us, and we won't rule the earth. Real money has real value, cause it's hard to find and mine. Gold and silver have been money since the dawning of mankind. The bankers had to find a way to rob the metal's crown, so they made a thing called COMEX to keep their value down. How bizarre. By selling virtual silver in the future at a loss, drops real silver's spot price and keeps paper money boss, so people get frustrated and sell the silver back to banks who understand its worth and stack and stack and stack. How bizarre.
Every time I look around, it's in my face.
But paper has a fatal flaw, that more is quickly made. Without a golden anchor, its value swiftly fades. It's happened every single time that paper went astray. You think this time it's different? Well, hey. So if you want to guard yourself from rising cost of stuff by holding something precious while you call the banker's bluff, when silver costs the same as this, which simply grows on trees to blast and sift 1 ton of rocks, it's time to silver squeeze.
How bizarre!
And here the COMEX silver futures. Looks like silver is about to have a 120 million ounce delivery month for the May COMEX delivery. So, yeah, keep on stacking. Keep on stacking.
Mike Maloney, and I'm joined once again by Jeff Clark and Adam Taggart. Jeff, what have you got for us today?
All our regular segments, plus a great meme of the day, so stick around for that. So we're going to jump right in here. And this first thing is our article of the day, and this is from Craig Hemke, and it's an article titled "A Time to Fight Back." And so the question here, is there another silver squeeze perhaps coming on? And he's talking about on May 1st, he wants everyone to buy silver on that day, which happens to be a weekend, but that's what the gist of the article is about. So, Mike, what do you think? Maybe another silver squeeze coming?
Well, I hope so. One of the things that I read was saying, when you've got somebody on the ropes, that's not the time to like back off and let them recover in a fight. And they're treating this as a fight, trying to end the manipulation by the commodities exchange and the big bullion banks. And they came close to doing it. And there's lots of evidence that the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, and that the squeeze that happened back in February came close to sort of breaking things. And so this is a concerted effort to try and get 100,000 people to buy 100 ounces of physical silver. And that's not very much, just 100 ounces. You can get 100,000 people to do that. And they're trying to get it to all happen on May 1st. Now, May 1st is a Saturday. But the week leading up to that, that's a good time for everybody to pile in and buy, maybe. I don't know. What I do know, absolutely, is that gold and silver have to catch up with the currency supplies, and they will. This stuff always works out. It just takes time. So what do you think, Adam?
Yeah, I think a lot like you do, Mike. And I really like that analogy about having your boxing opponent there on the ropes. That's not the time to let up. That's the time to lean in. And I did note that economist John Adams said that 35 million troy ounces of silver have left the COMEX depository warehouses since the initial silver squeeze started. So, the point there is that physical supply is being drained from the COMEX vaults. This movement is working. Again, this is the time to really lean in.
Yeah. I've got one more thing to say here. A couple of weeks back, we introduced InstaVault, which is fractional ownership of the big that we buy the least expensive silver we can possibly buy. And then the price difference, if you look at the difference per ounce between Silver Eagles and this InstaVault silver, and, so you're getting real physical silver. You're just owning a fraction of a 1,000 ounce commodities exchange bar. If people buy stuff like that, here what we do is we're taking that out of commodities exchange vaults and putting it in non-commodities exchange vaults. And so it's being pulled off of the COMEX. You own it. It's allocated to you. And so by buying products like this, you're putting the squeeze in the COMEX. And that's what we want to do, is drain the COMEX. This is one way of buying 100 ounces at a time, or 10 ounces or 500 ounces, but you're actually taking bars of 1,000 ounce bars of silver out of the COMEX vaults and causing the squeeze against the paper shorts. Buying 100 ounce bars or eagles or rounds or something like that does contribute, because to make those, they've got to melt 1,000 ounce bars. And so that does take 1,000 ounce bars, but it's not as direct. It doesn't happen like right now. If this is an organized squeeze, you want to buy things where you're guaranteed that it's physical silver and that only you own it. And this is in a Brinks vault. It's not in your possession. If you want 100 ounce bars and stuff, that's a great way to contribute to the squeeze. But they're trying to get this to all happen in a very, very short time period to cause the shorts to have to cover. And when the shorts cover, the price explodes. So this could happen. But the best way to do it is to basically participate in 1,000 ounce bars that are being pulled out of the commodities exchanges.
Great. And Jeff, I'm sorry, if there's one thing I could add to what Mike said, just on the price action. We've been watching the price of the precious metals, trickle down over the past couple of months. And over the past couple of weeks, it really seems like it has started to firm up. So I just wanted to, direct attention to folks here who've been asking, hey, when are the precious metals going to bottom? It's looking like they might have put in their bottom in the end of March. And since then, gold's up $100 an ounce and silver's up 10%. So, technically things are looking quite promising. And then of course, if we have people lean in to a squeeze like this, who knows what could happen. I also just want to note too, I saw today that Dan Tapiero, who's a very well-known hedge funder, he just was commenting that he sees silver well positioned to, quote, explode higher from here, especially if it gets above the $30 an ounce price. And again, who knows what's going to happen on May 1st, but buying pressure like that might be enough to ignite the price above $30, and then maybe Dan's prediction kicks in.
LBMA acknowledges buying frenzy in silver market and silver shortage fears. So the LBMA have published a new report titled Silver Investment 2021 Report. While it's not clear who actually wrote the report, as no author is specified, the LBMA does state that it acknowledges Metal Focus contribution to the report. So we can assume Metals Focus actually wrote it or were heavily involved. Now, Metals Focus is a precious metals consultancy based in London, which also at times writes the Silver Institute's annual World Silver Survey. So the report was pitched as a spotlight on silver investment, which explores the key developments in the silver investment over the last 12 to 18 months. And what's interesting, the report begins by commenting that the past 12 to 18 months have witnessed some incredible developments in the silver investment market, including a dramatic improvement in investor activity. Now, in Chapter 2 on silver ETPs, or ETFs, the LBMA report notes that silver ETF holdings reached a record high of 1.2 billion ounces in early February this year. So that's a record high of 1.2 billion ounces. And that London is the world's largest storage center for these ETFs. Now, surprisingly, the LBMA report acknowledges that strong inflows into silver-backed ETFs in late January and early February, if they had persisted, could have led to the LBMA London vaults running out of acceptable or good delivery silver bars for the ETFs. So the LBMA report states that early 2021 saw an unprecedented 110 million ounces added in just 3 days. Although some liquidations emerged, there were concerns that London would run out of silver if ETF demand remained at a high level. And this year, the location of the custodial vaults has come into sharper focus as ETF demand has jumped, leading to concerns about the potential availability of the metal. So there we go, folks. We were weeks away from the LBMA basically defaulting, not having the silver to back it to meet that demand. Yet there was a lot of people out there in the media, central banks, government, you name it, that were trying to say, no, you can't break the LBMA, you can't break this. There's no such thing as a silver squeeze. You can't do it. And a lot of people got discouraged. There was massive amounts of downward pressure manipulation from the big banks. And some folk got scared and ran and got out. And they believed those that were pushing out the manipulation. But we know now, based on this report, that it was only a matter of weeks until London would run out of silver. Now remember also that the SLV changed its prospectus in early February, saying that there might be some temporary issues there with providing that supply. But back to the LBMA report, it says as the social media frenzy gathered pace in late January, demand for coins, bars, and ETFs all jumped. For the latter, that's ETFs, global holdings surged by 119 million ounces in just 3 days. This was concentrated in the iShares fund, the SLV, where holdings rose by 110 million ounces. Given that most of this metal was allocated in London, fears emerged as to whether there was enough silver should demand continue at this pace. So there you have it, folks. We almost broke the back there. We've got the silver squeeze coming up on the 1st of May. We all know that the system, the fiat currency system, is a Ponzi scheme. We know that central banks are trying to flood the economy with new created currency units, which just creates inflation, devalues that fiat currency, and that silver. Silver is real money. Gold is a store of value, store of wealth. Throughout history, I've shared this many times. You go back, the first mention of money in the Bible was silver. And so we all know it. But it's going to take when other people wake up to the fact that those notes in their wallets, that the digits in their bank accounts are just a fugazi. It's just all pretend. It's all pretend. It's not real. But 1st of May, get on board with the silver squeeze. We know the truth. We know real money. Tell your friends and family. Spread the message about fiat currency. Spread the message that silver is money. Always has been throughout history. And it's been money more times than gold. Coming in from Rafi Farber on Twitter, Craig Hemke calls for silver squeeze round 2 on May 1, citing the May 1, 2011 silver smash. On May 1, 1933, FDR stole the entire gold supply of the US. On May 1, 2021, 88 years later, it's time to take it back. May 1, 2021, buy physical gold and silver. And What do you guys think? Are you guys getting involved in Silver Squeeze round 2? Are you buying physical gold and silver? Love to see your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you again on another episode of Finance Uncut.